The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN headquarters in St. Petersburg, Florida. 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning, 1 hour to go until the opening bell. We have markets in positive territory yet again. S&P futures right now positive by 10 points, trading at 33.45. NASDAQ futures positive by 35, trading at 94.16. Dow futures positive 108, trading at 29,351. You have Dow and S&P futures reaching all-time highs. I have a chart of the S&P up here, even backing things up to early yesterday. S&Ps were sitting at about 32.90. You trade up to 33.57 overnight. Just off those levels, about 9 points within, 33.48 in the S&Ps. We're up about 0.3% in the positive. Jumping over to some of the other markets, your Dow reaching a high overnight, almost 29,500. Call it 29,469. Backing off a bit from that level, almost 100 points right now at 29,373. NASDAQ 100 makes it to a high of 94.59, currently trading 94.24. S&P's recovered just off the highs we made at about 1:15 a.m. Eastern Time, trading at 33.48. There's your crude oil market. Crude actually climbing above $52, $52.16. We're off about $1.40 from that level right now, though, trading at $50.72, as we've seen this market just pull back in a dramatic fashion over about the last 7.5 hours. There's your gold contract, catching a bid off the lows we made overnight. Right at midnight, gold trading $15.56. We're now trading $15.67. And the euro-US dollar trading at 110.03. In terms of what is happening, what is driving this market, China to have retaliatory tariffs in for hundreds of U.S. goods worth about $75 billion. So this part of the Phase 1 trade deal, the U.S., as of February 14th, will cut duties on $75 billion worth of Chinese goods from 10 to 5 and some from 5 to 2.5. So they'll cut them in half. This comes at the same time. So this takes effect 1:01 p.m. on February 14th. This does come at the same time as China will also be cutting, I believe. Here we go. The statement on the Ministry of Finance said the move was made in order to advance the healthy and stable development of China-U.S. trade. A separate article on the website note the cut in tariffs was timed in conjunction with the U.S. decision in January to have February 14th for $120 billion in U.S. goods. So that's the China side from 15 to 7.5, as in what they will get. So the U.S., even though China is having their retaliatory tariffs on $75 billion from 10 to 5 and some from 5 to 2.5, the U.S. at the same time is essentially having their own tariffs at $120 billion. Nonetheless, that story out there, along with the coronavirus update. U.S. and China clash at World Health Organization over Taiwan's participation as the death toll tops 500. That number at 563. I believe the number of cases, as we scroll down, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 28,000, I want to say. 28,000, there it is. And 18 cases reported. So that story continuing to be in the news. And I'm just going to jump over to a headline that I just see up here. You see it at the top. U.S. productivity rose 1.4% in the fourth quarter versus 1.6% growth expected. This number coming out right as we came on the air at 8:30 a.m. this morning. So U.S. productivity expected to be 1.6 in the fourth quarter in 2019, compared with a 0.2% drop in the previous quarter. That number just coming out as it hit the tape. Continuing on the news front, Twitter shares soaring after reporting strong user numbers and miss on earnings, nonetheless growing their subscriber base, their daily user base, I should say. Twitter reported earnings on the fourth quarter of 2019 Thursday, missed analyst estimates for earnings per share, but beat revenue and active user. To get down to the numbers, earnings per share, 25 versus 29. There's your miss. Revenue, they come in at over $1 billion when they were expecting just under. And monetizable daily active users, 152 versus 147.5 million expected. Twitter said it experienced fastest quarterly growth of monetizable daily active users, and the metric reached its highest level in Q4. This is only the third time Twitter's reported that statistic, the monetizable daily active users. rather than the industry standard monthly active users it previously reported. Nonetheless, we're jumping over to Twitter to see how they're trading this morning. TWTR. You see the spike higher, closed yesterday at $33.39, up almost $3, be about 8 or 9% in the positive right now at $36.17. Jumping back to the news, Yum Brands tumbling as weak sales at Pizza Hut led to an earnings miss. Net sales rose 9% to $1.69 billion, topping the expectation of $1.66. Yum China, which operates brands like Pizza Hut and KFC in China, warned on Wednesday that coronavirus could lead to operating losses in its first quarter. The numbers, earnings, $1 versus $1.13. Revenue, slightly over $1.69 versus $1.66. Same-store sales, though, missing at 2% versus the 2.3 expected. Taco Bell's parent company reported fiscal fourth quarter net income $488 million, or $1.58, up from $3.34. Quite a growth when you look at it, but nonetheless priced into the stock. So when you pull up Yum, there's your action. Closed yesterday at almost 107, down to 100 on the dot this morning, Yum Brands. Other news, Peloton. As they reported, and the stock plummets after the company reported widening losses and slowing revenue. The company reported a loss of 20 cents a share. Analysts had expected an even bigger loss, though, of 36 cents a share. They plummeted much as 12%. We'll pull up the chart in a moment. The company's revenue rising to $466 million, up from $262 million. Peloton shares jumped as much as 12%. Pulling up Peloton, Peloton, down about 7.34. And let's jump into the chart for a moment. There's your action, actually spiking down to 27.30 at one point. Looking to open off of that level at 30.26 right now. And to pull up some context of where Peloton has been, there's your action from, I believe, the IPO. Yes, because that's going back. It would go back a year. They IPO late September, trades down to $20, back up to 37. We'll have to get the real IPO price. Maybe we'll cover it at 10 o'clock when I'm on the air with Tom and the Bloomberg. But nonetheless, up to 37.02, and we've bounced around a bit. My personal take on Peloton is that they seem to have a very replicatable product in terms of a bike with an app that you log into, and it's quite a premium product for something that I see that they should have a lot of competition for the prices they charge for the product they put together. There's your Peloton stock, nonetheless. Toyota, out with their earnings, lifting profit outlook, malls alternatives to China-made parts amid virus outbreak. Toyota Motor nudged up its annual operating profit forecast by 4.2%, so they're guiding up in the face of everything going on. The car maker noted the impact of the new coronavirus was hard to gauge and had not yet been factored in, though. And getting down, they expect operating profit for the year-end March to climb to 2.5 trillion yen, or 22.7 billion. Quite a number. Toyota, the biggest car producer out there, only dwarfing Tesla for the number 2 slot, and that will use to jump over to Tesla. As they temporarily closed China stores amid coronavirus fears, they've temporarily closed its stores in mainland China as of Sunday, February 2nd. This may be some of the pullback. Maybe there's the short squeezes over. Nonetheless, we're going to take a look at Tesla as we go into the break here. And you see the action back yesterday to 734. Stay tuned, folks. We'll dig into Tesla when we get back. We'll cover everything else for the day. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year, or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year, or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, JDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Markets in positive territory. S&P futures up 13 right now. Dow futures up 130. NASDAQ futures up 41. Oil, some volatility. We're going to finish up the conversation about Tesla. So we pulled it up initially on the daily, but you back things up to just Tuesday, 968 towards the end of the day. That market trades all the way down to almost 900. We trade down to 734 yesterday, and you see the chart right now, Tesla printing about a 707.50. Just want to jump over to some of the current commentary out here having to do with Tesla shares dropping more than 17% yesterday after a Tesla vice president in China announced in a Weibo post that cars initially scheduled for delivery to customers there in early February would be delayed due to the spread of the coronavirus. In an effort to keep the virus under control, Shanghai has ordered local businesses not to resume work before February 10th, which means Tesla's local factory is also temporarily shut down by that regulation. Tesla has 24 stores in mainland China, according to the company's website. So nonetheless, ingrained in that and obviously going to take a hit. Jumping over to other news out here, JCPenney revamping women's clothing brand, focusing on denim in bid to boost sales. The relaunch of its Anna brand, part of the JCPenney strategy to pull itself out of a sales slump and remain relevant in the age of Amazon. To jump over to JCPenney and see how they're trading this morning. You're up about 1.5% after trading higher yesterday, putting that on a little bit of a longer time frame chart. JCP. So we're trading at 72 cents here to put things in context. And you back it up even 20 days. We were just at $1.25. We're now trading at $7.20, almost half that. You put it back a whole year, you're up at $1.19. So we'll see. JCPenney trying to revamp how they do things. Apple Watch outselling the entire Swiss watch industry in 2019. I found this article interesting. The Apple Watch outsold the entire Swiss watch industry in 2019, according to a report from Strategy Analytics. They estimate that Apple shipped 30.7 million units worldwide of its smartwatch last year, compared to only 21.1 million for all Swiss watch brands combined. 30 million watches. It's amazing what just the merchandise that they call their other segments, whether it's watches, whether it's AirPods now, is just such a large segment compared to any other company by itself. That number, 21.1 million for all Swiss, along along with wristwatches, remain popular among older consumers, but younger buyers are tipping toward smartwatches and computerized wristwear. Apple's wearable category, that's what I was looking for, which includes Apple Watch and AirPods, wireless headphones, growing strongly. In the December quarter, that division brought in over $10 billion in net sales, a near 27% year-on-year increase. I'm sure that having to do a lot with the watch as well. Swiss watch exports, meanwhile, totaled $20.6 million for 2019. These do not include shipments inside Switzerland, which is why that numbers for the industry are higher. Swiss watch exports fell 13%. It's got to be tough to be a Swiss watchmaker as wearable watches and high-tech watches come into your business. Looking back to the futures, you have the NASDAQ hitting records, but more than half of the stocks are still in a bear market. This interesting as well. While the broad index sits at record highs, under the surface, more than half of the stocks are in a bear market categorized by a drop of 20% or more from 52-week highs. That's quite a drop when you hear new highs every single day. The NASDAQ's been really strong from a momentum perspective, but the leadership has been relatively narrow. You're talking about the big names, of course, Google, Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft. The NASDAQ mega cap stocks such as, here we go, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, responsible for much of the NASDAQ's rally. But the charts may be signaling that more NASDAQ stocks could be about to join in on the rally, we have one analyst saying. Believe it or not, breadth for the NASDAQ, while it usually is disadvantaged compared to the NYSE, has not been that bad. We saw it range-bound for much of 2019, but a breakout in Q4. Nonetheless, I hadn't seen that statistic. Over half the stocks flirting with the bear market and really getting leadership from those few stocks at the top. We got weekly jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. this morning as well. When I came on the air, 9-month low. That number, initial claims for state unemployment benefits falling to 202,000 for the week ended February 1st, the lowest reading since last April, the Labor Department said. The claims data for the prior week was revised to show 1,000 more applicants received than previously reported. The number that economists were looking for, 215,000, so slightly under that number. The Labor Department said only claims for Alabama and Pennsylvania were estimated. The four-week moving average of initial claims considered a better measure as it irons out week-to-week volatility, falling 3,000 to 211,750. Still a remarkably low number. In terms of jobless claims, 211,000 on the state level. According to Reuters, non-farm payrolls we're looking for on Friday likely increase 160,000 jobs in January after rising 45. So that'll really be the number the market's waiting for tomorrow morning, non-farm payrolls. We got ADP last night, 291,000 jobs added in January, the most since 2015 in terms of May of 2015. Almost 300,000 jobs, quite a beat in terms of the number that they were looking for was about 150,000 on that segment, so a huge beat. There'll be some high expectations, I assume, coming into the non-farm payroll number tomorrow. And what else we have happening? A week from today, Basil Chapman is going to be in with subscribers to the opening call, dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. I encourage you to check it out. Gain access to Basil's newsletter service, his daily trading updates that go out every morning. I'm sure he has one going out this morning as he does every trading day. You can sign up, gain access to that right now. You'll be in there in a week. That will be archived if you can't attend live. Basil just going over the techniques that he uses to trying to identify the latest market downturns, how he uses different ETFs as canaries in the coal mine, a number of different points. Check it out on the front page, and new subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee. And while we're on the front page, Nico and Paige as well, a special for Primal Edge, $25 off this month only. Just enter the promo code 25 off when signing up for Primal Edge. Subscribe and save. You can cancel at any time. You save $25. I believe it's normally $89 for a bottle. We ship it to you. So 25 off, $64, and you can cancel anytime. I encourage you to check out Primal Edge. If you haven't tried it yet, that's a great time to do that as well. Jumping back to some of those other stocks in terms of the high flyers in the NASDAQ. Amazon, that's a daily chart, but let's get into the action this morning. Pretty muted action. It closed yesterday at 2,039, up at 2,047. Microsoft looking to open in the positive by more than $1 at 181.30. Google had their earnings, of course, Monday after the bell. Look how they've clawed back so much of that already. Google spiked to 1,400 initially on that earnings number. They made it down as low as about 1,410 after hours. And from there, we're now up to 1,454. Netflix, 368.70, pretty close to in line, if not off $1. And Disney, coming off their earnings Tuesday after the bell, 142, closed yesterday at 141.37. And checking in on the VIX as well. As you may expect, we got a 14 print actually after being at 19.99 to end last week. All positive action in the market so far this week. VIX pairing that volatility and checking back in on Tesla to see where we might be. Holding at about 708 right now for Tesla. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be coming back to wrap up the program. We'll see what else we have on tap for today's action in the market as well as tomorrow. Stay tuned.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Taking one final look at the markets. Welcome back, folks. Dow 30, 29,330 right now. We're about 100, more than 100 points now. The highest actually 29,469. So you're talking about 130, 140 Dow points from that high that we made at 4 a.m. NASDAQ 100, 9408. We were up there as high as 94.58. So you're 50 points off that high in the NASDAQ 100. S&P's 34.44. I think that would still almost be an all-time high print. 33.57, the highs there. Crude oil continuing to pull back hard from that high we made overnight at $52.16. We're now down more than $1.60 from there, $50.53. And the gold contract going for what could be session highs at $15.69. Euro US dollar 110 on the dot. What else happening out there? If you hadn't seen it, unfortunately, Kirk Douglas passing away, 103 years old. Quite a remarkable life that he had in the movies. Of course, sad to see that go, but 103. That is quite a life, I'm sure, that he had. Final update on the coronavirus. 563 people now in that country as of Asia, 28,000 cases. China saying 19 foreigners have been infected by the fast-spreading coronavirus. Japan's health ministry said 10 more people on board the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship tested positive. That has to be, I don't want to call it a nightmare, hope for everyone all right, but being on a cruise ship that is spreading on, pretty rough. Jumping back to some of the other markets, just finishing up, there's your crude. There is your low, backing things up a little bit longer. Tuesday night, 49.31 as we pull back to that area. In the same way, pulling up gold. There's your high, 15.98 we had to end last week. Gold holding up relatively well with the markets back near basically all-time highs. Gold at 15.6890. And there's your S&P for some context. S&P putting this even on a daily. There's your high right there today. Back things up. We were at 33.37 on January 22nd. New high on that opening print as we open today. Appreciate you joining me, folks. Stay tuned. Larry Pesavento coming up live at 9 o'clock with Trade What You See. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. We get natural gas inventories today as well, 10:30. Fast Market, Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien, all this afternoon. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.